And welcome to the Building Better Men podcast from Lifebuilders. Now, this is the first episode we've had on YouTube. We have put videos on YouTube before, but it's the first time we actually put a podcast on here. So, a first for me and a first for you, I guess. We do have previous episodes, albeit it's been a while since we've done an episode, but we do have previous episodes on Spotify. So if you are watching or listening to this on Spotify, then obviously this is nothing new. We're here again. However, if you're on YouTube and this is your first time listening or watching us, then you can go to Spotify. You will be able to search Building Better Men and you'll find us lurking somewhere on that platform. So feel free to have a look at our previous episodes, and I'm hopeful that it will interest you enough to, well, you know what I'm going to say now. It will interest you enough to subscribe to our channel here on YouTube and follow us on Spotify if that's where you live. But, subscribe, like, comment, the score. Share, all the usual. We have a new National Director, Reverend Nathan Hutchinson, joined us on the 1st of January 2023, and a few months later in April we gathered on Zoom with a number of men up and down the country where Nathan shared his vision for the department, and part of that vision was the acronym LIFE, L-I-F-E. L for living a life that reflects the Lord, I for impacting the community, F for family focused, and E for empowering and releasing the next generation. Now, the purpose of this particular episode is not necessarily to kind of regurgitate the acronym as such, but to unpack it from a perspective of encouragement. You might want to call it a devotional. It's up to you, really. But I want to intersperse this with some verses from the Book of Proverbs. Proverbs, I think, is a really wonderful book. It's full of practical wisdom and instruction, and we can learn a lot from it. So this episode and the next three will be unpacking the acronym LIFE from the perspective of lessons from Proverbs, if you like. And I guess it's no surprise that this first one is L for living a life that reflects the Lord. So we're going to start off at Proverbs 27 verse 19, and it reads thus: as water reflects the face, so one's life reflects the heart. What does that really mean? Essentially it's about actions, it's about choices, it's about what is in our hearts, because what is in our hearts is going to be reflected by the way we live, the way we speak, the way we treat one another, the things we do, the things we say. And essentially what we want to be doing is living a life that reflects the Lord. So what is it that's in your heart? What are the things that you need to drop off? What are the things you need to put more of in your heart? I'm reminded of film Schindler's List, and many of you may have watched this movie already. I don't know how true to the actual story it is. It's Hollywood after all, so they always have a bit of artistic license in there. But essentially, when you watch the movie, you find that this was a man, Oskar Schindler, who was played by Liam Neeson. So Oskar Schindler was an officer in the German army during the period of the Holocaust, and he apparently, according to the film, he saved over 1,000 Jews from dying in the Holocaust. And towards the end of the film, there's a scene where you find it is deeply remorseful because he wants to save more. He's not satisfied that he's only saved 1,000 Jews. He wants to save more. This is a man, according to the film, whose heart is full of compassion, is selfless. He really wants to do as much as he can, as much that's in his power, to save more people. And these are qualities that we as believers, as followers of Jesus, we often hold to, that we want to be people that have compassion, that do want to help people, do want to transform people's lives, or at least be a vehicle by which people's lives can be transformed for the better. Proverbs 16 verse 9, it says, in their hearts humans plan their course, but the Lord establishes their steps. As another version says, the Lord orders their steps. Now, essentially, this verse is a beautiful illustration of the fact that while we have free will, it's ultimately God who guides our path. So if we really want to live a life that reflects the Lord, then how much are we actually yielding to his voice? How much we're listening to him? Are we filling our life with Netflix, PS4 or 5, whatever number we're on now? Now, this doesn't mean that we can't have fun. It doesn't mean that we can't enjoy life. But it's all to do with priorities, isn't it? Ultimately, we should be allowing God to guide us through our life. In today's society, it's easy to get caught up in the hustle and bustle and to be chasing after materialistic goals. Our flesh is very selfish. It always wants to feel good. It wants to have all the things that make it feel good. But essentially, the things of God aren't always things that make the flesh feel good. But you know what? We reap so much reward from doing the work of the Lord. So reading the words, praying, getting the habit of that, so it becomes something that is not a chore, but is something that is kind of a normal part of your life. Whether you're praying, driving the car or whatever, switch it up, man. You don't have to make it boring. You can go for your walk and pray at the same time, yeah? As somebody says, you can walk and chew gum at the same time. But yeah, let's ensure that we are filling our life with the good things. But listen, we don't want to chase over materialistic things to the point that it takes over our life and then we're not reflecting the things of the Lord. But let's take a step back. Let's ask ourselves, okay, are the things that we're chasing after things that we need or things that we want? If it's things that we need, fair enough. The Lord will help us, I'm sure. If things that we want aren't always the same as things that we need, look at your actions, consider your actions, reflect on your actions. Are you showing love and kindness and humility? Are you prioritizing the right things in your life? Or are we just imitating what goes on in the world? Are we just living day to day without any real focus, any real direction? So as you go about your week, and we do have 3 more episodes, by the way, so please do come back. As you go through the week, remember that your life is a mirror, and you need to think about what it is you reflect in. What is it that you want to reflect in your life?